When you're starting.
Starting.
Okay, so first thing to do is detangle your doll. Start with wet hair and comb her into and part her and comb her into 4 sections. Center of the forehead to the center of the nape. And then from the high point of the crown to behind the ear. Remember to control your sections and keep them clipped up so the judges can see what you're doing at all times.
Oh, what are you doing? Okay. Actually, it's better.
Same thing to the other side, behind the ear.
You helped me on that purple all-day color on Friday. Here's your tip. You got $5.
Thank you.
Okay, so all 4 sections are clipped up. And then you are going to release your hairline all the way around at about anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch at the most from all 4 sections, including behind the ear. Okay, once your perimeter is all pulled out, you're going to begin your cut in the back center, making sure that her head is straight and then tipped forward whenever you're working below your occipital bone. Okay, take your comb with your measuring guide, and you want your cut to be, as they're going to tell you at competition, so we are making ours anywhere between the 7 to 5 to 4 inch mark. So measure your length. Measuring this at 5, make your first cut. Remember to palm your shears. Keeping your hair at 0 elevation. Your corners, make sure they're the same length. Okay. Another length all the way around. Straighten her head as you move forward. Make your front hairline guide, measuring at the same length as you previously did. Down here, 5 inches, release your tension. Measure again, 5 inches. Cutting your perimeter. Now you are going to begin your connection between your back corner here and your front guide here. We're going to cut that on the diagonal. And again, we want all this hair to be measuring at 5 inches as we go around. Make it to your corner. Point your shears where you want to end, cutting palm to palm, letting the hair fall at natural fall. Take a moment and go back and measure as needed. Again, tips of the shears pointing where you want to end. Okay, check your line, going back the opposite direction. And I found a spot, so I'm going to come back in, still cutting that. Need to go just a little shorter. Okay, following that same thing on the opposite side. Going for my back corner, right there. Guides here. Cutting upward, pointing my shears to where I want to end. Do not forget to palm your shears. They will be checking for safety. Smooth and even tension. Connect your guides. Perimeter should be cut. Now we are going to create our interior mohawk guide. Taking a little bit from each side of your front section. Holding that hair up at 90 degrees. Remember that first cut, front section, holding it up, finding your spot, measuring it in the back at your 5 inches. Connect the front and the back portion of the guide, cutting towards the hairline. Taking that same piece and expanding that into the back 4 sections. This now is going to become your traveling guide. Holding the hair up at 90 degrees, starting in the crown. Working around the round of the head. Remember to take small little sections so you keep your hair elevated at 90 degrees, palming your shears in between each cut. looking down towards your exterior guide. Connecting the two. Our final cut out at 90. This now becomes your traveling guide. Separate it half into your left and continue working to the right. Starting at the top of your section, taking a piece of that guide you just cut as your traveling guide. Combing the hair straight up at 90, find your guide, make your cut. Work small sections around the head. When in doubt, look for that guide, find it, then cut. Again, taking that piece of your traveling guide, moving it into your next section, continuing to the right. Watch for that guide inside there. Look for that traveling guide. There it is. Bring your fingers to it. Recomb if necessary. Double check. There's that guide. Cut where it's supposed to be. A few little scragglers. Working down. There's the guide. I can make the cut. Continuing all the way to the bottom of your section. Guide. Cut. Continue with your pie partings, taking your traveling guide. Staying in the center of your section so you don't over direct one way or the other. All the way down, should have some guide in there. Corner off. Last piece of the back right, continuing with a little bit of traveling guide. Working to that section right behind the ear. Starting at the top, finding your guide, making your cut, working around the head, straight out at 90. Again, there's my bottom guide, right down here. Don't cut into it. Okay, you're done with the back right panel. Now to move to the front right panel. Again, head nice and straight. Pull your traveling guide. Release your right front panel. Take your first pie parting. Should come right over the top of the ear here. There's the guide. Knowing the right spot, starting at the top again. up we go. Make our first cut at 90. Work that round of the head. Final guide. Cut that stuff up. Piece of your traveler. Next one over should be the hair in front of the ear, plus the little piece of your guide. Piece. Should be getting the hair from the front framing area now. Again, keeping that in pie and keeping your traveling guide. And your very last section should butt up right against your mohawk guide. And if anything, you might find some scragglers. Just checking for those. Okay, working on into your left panel. Taking the other half of that center mohawk guide that we originally established. Again, this first one's going to butt up right against your original guide. Make sure you keep the hair evenly damp. Degree elevation. Continue with that traveling guide. For your guide, find it, cut it. That 90-degree angle from the scalp at all times. Making your last gut piece for the left front section. Okay, moving into the last of our back panels, the back left panel. Starting right behind the ear again, working in a circle, leave down a little bit of that previously established traveling guide. Flip this out of the way. Release your section, put the hair that you've already cut back over here. Don't let the hair dry out. And starting at the top, you want to be standing in front of your work. Again, let me find that 90 as I round the head. Previously cut. Just want to remind you guys it's still in there. Again, remember, keep that troweling guide. You're almost done. Final connect down there. Very nice. Last section back here. Keeping that little bit of traveling guide with you. And we're going to take that one center vertical section one more time. Make sure we married both the left and the right together properly. And I can see a scraggler somewhere, so it's a good thing we do that. There it is. Final thing, just going down that center vertical section one last time. Hit those scragglers. Okay, haircut is completed, and now we are going to cross-check, see anything we may have missed by checking the hair horizontally through the back. Those little scragglers. Release the top. We're out. Pick her up. Cross section her here. Make sure you didn't miss any little guys. If we did it properly, hopefully we did. Wasn't watching a mirror. She should be a box. And she looks like a box.